What's up, YouTube? Capital G here. Got some excellent duels for you guys to check out. If you're a feather hater or a bird brain, you might not enjoy them that much, but we got some fan favorites up in here, and this is basically what a run back of the quarterfinals of the Friendship Cup in Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc V that saw Raidraptors taking on Blackwing, Shun versus Crow. I do consider myself a huge Blackwing fan. It's the deck that I got my first regional top 8 with, but I actually feel like Shun should have won that duel because I think that he's just a little bit better of a duelist, and I was a little disappointed when Crow pulled out the victory. But this is going to be an awesome duel. It showcases some of those ridiculous plays that Blackwings can do, and man, I really think Blackwings can probably be about a tier 1.5-ish deck. They're going to be really strong, man. Once you get this card right here, this new card, Simone, this is basically the card that just breaks everything open. If you already have a Whirlwind on the field, it's going to be nuts because it basically just searches you a Whirlwind. It normal summons itself. It'll get you searches from Whirlwind, and it doesn't even use your real normal summon, so it's actually just kind of stupid how many like plushes you can get. You see he's just getting plus after plus. When you go ahead, or when he summons this guy right here, Oster, that's just going to get him another card that has been banished, and then you just get 2 more searches from Whirlwind, and your advantage just starts becoming ridiculous at this point. I think the only thing is you have to make sure you don't run into a situation where you have like all tuners, because Blackwings have so many different tuners. But you see he's going to do burn damage. So many different searches from the copies of Whirlwind, where you can just search everything. Here's your boy Blackwing Towers, aka Armored Master. Rakiri's gonna summon a big monster bat from the graveyard in the Thune. He has 2 of them on the field. He's not even done with the link summoning, and he's going to go for that copy of Decode Talker. And then look at this, man. Chidori is just sitting on the board looking real gangster. And yeah, man, this is pretty difficult. Like if he would have had like an Icarus attack here instead of Dark Hole, I don't think that Blackwings need Dark Hole at all. I really don't see what you can't beat over when you have 600 attack monsters and 3,000 towers and stuff like that. It's really difficult to get over boards like this. Let's see how his opponent is going to fight back. I think he's actually going to go for oh no, this is the crazy play. This is the Rise Falcon one. He's gonna get the ultimate cheese. Check this out, right? So if you don't know about Rise Falcon, this is the card that Shun used in the Arc V duel, where he OTK'd 3 players at once, and basically it can actually take the attack, or it can gain the attack of a special summon monster on the field. It does target, so it does make you wonder why he didn't use Decode Talker's effect. That would have actually killed this card, but I don't know. Maybe he just forgot about it. And yeah, this thing can attack like everything on the board. So unfortunately, it is now just too damn powerful to handle, and he's gonna be able to OTK him even though he had 2 towers on the board. It don't even matter. This card can just wreck everything. If your opponent has a bunch of very powerful special summon monsters on the field, yeah, Rise Falcon can just like do work. And this is the second duel. So the first duel, you can say, okay, maybe he got cheesed. Then this one's going to be a little cheesy as well. You see that Ruris are up this turn, or Ruris are going first in this duel. If you ever wonder why I call them Ruris, it's you know, Shun's sister in the in Arc V is named Ruri, so it's like a little meme. But anyways, he doesn't really do a very impressive play where you just have 4 tricks and then like 2 random like Raidraptors, and then you've got a copy of Readiness. Like that's not very impressive at all. It's not really stopping anything. I think the problem that the Blackwing guy is running into is that he's able to make like Needle Fiber, which is cool, but if you notice, he has nothing but tuners. Like he has to use his theme to cloak. Like all these monsters are tuners, so he's not able to do anything. You know, Last Tricks is just gonna drop on the board to instantly die, and yeah, that's unfortunate, man. Every card that he has is a freaking tuner, and not able to essentially do much here. So he's going to, let's see, I believe that Needle Fiber is gonna die for basically nothing. Okay, so he loses Needle Fiber for free. Finally gets himself a non-tuner. His extra monster zone is free and clear too, and he can do a lot of work. Look how much destruction Rakiri is able to do, as it's able to pop 3 cards, well actually a couple of cards on the field. He's gonna go Omega, hit his opponent's hand, and you know, you look like, or it looks like Blackwing should be able to take over this duel. I'm gonna actually switch the sides here, but Raidraptors are not giving up. He's gonna go ahead, he's gonna rank up for Stranger Falcon. He's going to kill the Apprentice Witchling, which it floats, so it's not really that big of a deal. And I still feel like Blackwings have so many opportunities to just win this duel. Not only does he have Omega, which he keeps using, I don't think he has to use it that quickly, but then again he gets to Simone, and you know that that's basically going to break the game open. There should be 0 ways that this guy loses his duel, right? Like look how many searches he's getting, look at the advantage he's going to rack up, look at his hand, just look at his hand constantly increase. Like you have so many options with Blackwings at this point. And he could obviously summon something like Borlo Dragon or pretty much whatever monster he wants, as Blizzard is going to get a monster bat from the graveyard and get him 2 searches. Kind of wonder if he's running Kalut in his deck, because I still feel like Kalut can be a really good card, even though it doesn't actually work with full Armored Master. And I'm not going to lie, I did not know Hawkjo was this good. Hawkjo is such a good card because it summons back your other Blackwing Synchro monsters. The problem is, he's not going to be able to close this duel out. He even snatch steals the Force Tricks because it activated its effect. He has an open field, but no, his opponent has that Raidraptor's readiness. Oh, that's not supposed to be popping up. Let's close that. He has that Raidraptor's readiness in the graveyard, and he's not going to be able to kill him despite all of these monsters on field. Look at this field. This field is ridiculous. He attacks again, another readiness. He can't keep the cards on the field. He can't keep a hand. Look at the advantage. He's even going to drop a second copy of Full Armor Master, but he cannot close the duel out because he can't do damage, and I believe that is Soul Shade Force. And baby, if you give Raidraptors enough time, the sack will happen. He's actually going to attack with the Air Raid Falcon, and then he goes into Revolution Falcon. He can make one of his opponent's monsters 0 attack, and he's able to actually somehow win the duel. Now, he wouldn't have been able to use it against the Armored Masters, like either one of them, because they're unaffected by card effects, but he does have one monster on the field in attack position that actually, you know, is susceptible to card effects at that point. See, if you would have had like 5 copies of Kalut in your hand, maybe that would have, you know, that would have been a little different, and you definitely would have had ample opportunity to search them. But you know, Blackwings end up taking the L. I actually think that people might be interested to seeing into seeing what these new Blackwing builds look like. So I am going to pause really quickly and show you guys what they actually look like on paper. So this is what the Blackwing deck looks like on paper, and one of the cool things about Blackwings right now, one thing that I've actually noticed, and I guess you could say it to a lesser extent about some of the old 5Ds versions, is there are so many monsters that can get themselves out of the hand. So if you're ever stuck with a monster-filled hand, it's not really that big of a problem with Blackwings. It used to be way back in the day that only Bora and Gale were kind of like monsters that got themselves out of the hand. They could both add a little bit of extra damage. Gale was an excellent utility card because it allowed you to synchro. It could, you know, kill a Stardust Dragon by itself. It infamously was known as like the card that basically killed Thunder King Ryo. You couldn't really play Ryo in the 5Ds era for a lot of the time because somebody would just be like, oh, summon Gale, cut, attack, you know what I mean? But now there are other monsters like Chris the Crack of Dawn, which isn't a new card, but you know, it just allows you to unload your hand. This one, Hermatin, even a card like Breeze the Zephyr, which I believe this came out in like Shining Darkness. It was an ultra rare, I feel like, alongside of cards for Black Feathers. But this is another card where you guys saw so much searching from Black Whirlwind. If you happen to add this card from Black Whirlwind, which you probably will, you can instantly throw it on the board. So for that reason, you really only need to run 1 copy of this, not really much more than that. And these new Blackwing builds are going to have a lot more monsters because of that, because you're doing so much reborning, because you're going to be using Steam to cloak a lot, because these monsters are going to be like constantly searched by Black Whirlwind. Hell, you saw Black Whirlwind and some of those turns was used 3 times with 3 different summons, so it's not really that big of a deal to run this many monsters in your hand, especially when everything in the deck, for the most part, except like an Ash Blossom, you can allure it. Maybe space might be a little bit of an issue. I don't even think that you need Regeki and Dark Hole. I think that this deck has all the offense that it possibly, or that it could probably need. I would probably cut these 2 cards and Wabaku, which I actually think is just random, for either like a Ghost Ogre, maybe like a playset of Ghost Ogres, or maybe just like hard Solemn Strikes. Solemn Strikes would make you a little more susceptible to like back row removal, but I think in general that maybe a decent trap card. Icarus Attack could still work in this deck. People really forget about Icarus Attack. It is still a very solid card, but yeah, I think Blackwings are definitely heading down the right path, and so many synchros. It is nice to see that a lot of these like Blackwing cards that really weren't all that good in the past, like Hawkjo, because you didn't really see Blackwings go one synchro into another synchro, except, you know, in like the TV show or something like that, where Crow would use basically all the cards in his hand in like Yu-Gi-Oh! Art V, but now it's pretty easy to do. Maybe you could throw a Monster Reborn in here, you know, cut the Dark Hole, cut the Regeki. I don't even think that you would need those cards, but yeah, Blackwings might be a very real deck again because the offense is quite impressive now. This video has been brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at audible.com/megacapitalG. Over 180,000 titles to choose from on your mobile device. I'm listening to the amazing I Can't Make This Up by Kevin Hart. Link in the description. And you know what? I decided to just go ahead and show off the Raidraptors for the Raidraptor fans who were like, Cap G, how you gonna show the deck pulling off a spicy 2-0 and then not even let us know what is in the deck? So here you guys go. This is what the deck looks like. I'm just showing it for the fans and not to make this video 10 minutes long. Kappa, I can't really explain that much about Raidraptors. I mean, we all know, like I don't know that much about them. I know that they have a whole lot of fucking rank ups, which he looks like he runs almost all of them basically. Skip Force, Raid Force, Soul Shade Force. Is this Double Doom for? Yeah, I think he has every single rank up basically that there is in the damn archetype. And I know they got a bunch of ways of searching them. I don't know about Raidraptor readiness. It was super cool in the show, man. Like it saved Shun in the show and it stopped him from getting OTK'd. But I would rather just run cards like Strike. I mean, Strike just is a much better general card. Maybe throw a couple of hand traps in here, or at least some Allure Darknesses. I feel like both of these decks should have been running Allure Darknesses. But if you want to mess around with some Ruries, here's at least a first draft to get you started.